Today we're taking a look at the Carbon Legacy 5mm Fred Eichler Edition from Easton. Just a reminder guys, head on over to mikesarchery.com to pick up any of our latest logo gear. We got plenty of hats and shirts as well as any gear you might need for your next adventure. Welcome back to Mike's Archery, and we are taking a look at some arrows today. We've got the new Carbon Legacy 5mm, and these are the Fred Eichler Edition, so these are for you trad guys out there. We wanted to do a little overview of this new shaft from Easton. Now, most all of the Easton arrows, including this one, are made in the USA. Now, whether it's in the California or Utah factory, but we're glad to see Easton keeping all of their stuff here in the United States. So this is no different with these new 5mm Carbon Legacies. Now, the basic composition of these arrows is a high-quality carbon. Now, it's got that vintage look. So they did a nice dark stained teak wood look on it for you trad guys. And then it's got that great-looking white crest at the top for high visibility. So it's going to make a great-looking trad arrow. So you're going to see it in flight with the look of it, and then just that dark wood. It looks a lot different than most people's trad arrows out there. It's got a great look to it. Now you can get these arrows from Easton in just a bare shaft, or they are doing a factory fletch. Now if you're getting the factory fletch from them, it is going to be a 4-inch left wing feather, and it's got a helical on it. So you've got a 32-inch overall length arrow there from the factory. And if you're buying these arrows as shafts, it is going to be a 34-inch length. So you get a couple extra inches there if you're going to need that. And as you're spine tuning, walk back tuning, whatever it is you're doing with these arrows, you've got plenty of shaft there regardless of what spine you choose to work with and get these arrows to fly out of your trad bow. Now the straightness on these arrows are coming to you at 0.003, so a nice 3,000 straightness. And as we were messing with them, we ran them over the spinners and just took a look at them, just trying to see how well they lined up and if they had any wobble to them. We got about half of them were pretty slick, they were clean. The other half had just a little bit of wobble in either the nock or the point end, but being a 34-inch shaft overall, as you cut those down, these are going to straighten right up and give you a really nice tight tolerance arrow. Now they are on the 5mm platform, as stated, and that is a 204 diameter. So if you're looking at that 204 diameter 5mm platform, you've got some options there, and this arrow is going to give you that extra small diameter as well to shoot out your trad bow, bring it a little closer to center depending on how you're shooting off the shelf. Now as far as the spine options in this arrow, you've got everything from a 340 down to a really light 700. Now the 340 is going to come to you at 9.8 grains per inch. The 400 is at 8.9 grains per inch, and the 500 is at 8.0 grains per inch, while the 600 is at 7.0, and the 700 spine is at 6.8 grains per inch. So you've got a wide variety there to fit pretty much any archer on the trad line. Now as far as the weight tolerances on these arrows, we threw them on the grain scale just to kind of see where they matched up. And taking a 500 spine arrow, which is what we pulled out, with the 8 grains per inch, these should have weighed in at about 281, including the nock. As we threw them on the scale, went through them, we got 8 of them coming in at 282. 4 of them at 284. That was the variance between the entire dozen. So we thought that was a really close number. You're talking a couple grains over a 34-inch shaft. By the time you guys cut these down, fletch them up the way you want them, they ought to be spot on to where you want them to be. Now, as far as taking these arrows, we kind of wanted to give you a baseline of where you would be at using a 400 spine arrow. And so with a 400 spine arrow, overall weight on that should come in at about 420 grains. Now that is using it at 29 inches and using a 125 grain point. So if you put all that together, fletching them with feathers, you should be right in that 420 grain spot on these arrows with a 400 spine. Now you guys can do the math on the others for yourself, but that just kind of gives you a real good idea of where these shafts are going to come in at on overall weight. Now the components that come with them, as with most 5mm stuff from Easton, it's coming with a standard hit insert. Just the aluminum insert. That's a 16 grain aluminum insert, and then it's going to come with a standard 5mm X Nock, which is coming in at 9 grains on that. From what we've seen, they're all coming with white nocks to match up with that white crest and give you high visibility. Now obviously you can swap those out to any other color you want, And then if you want to use some other components from Easton, they offer some other optional components. For one, you can get a 5mm steel half out. That's coming in at 75 grains up front. and they also make a 5mm aluminum half out that's 25 grains. Now you could also change out those standard hit inserts. If you want to keep an internal system, you can use also their hit brass inserts, which is a break off of either 75 or 50 grains. So giving you a lot of options there to weight the front end up, get that FOC exactly where you want it, and just get a perfectly tuned arrow for you. They also offer a broadhead adapter ring that you can use on these shafts as well, if that's something you're looking for. Now overall, we've got a great shaft here from Easton. As far as a price point on these, if you're looking at a dozen shafts, retail on them is going to be $134.99. And then if you're looking at a 6-pack of Fletched from Easton, you're looking at $89.99 on a 6-pack. So great value for a really good looking arrow here from Easton on the trad market. So if you guys are looking for some new trad arrows and want to try out the new Fred Eichler Edition, then give us a call here at Mike's Archery and we'll get some in your hands.